This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it's truly a family show. Nick Peroetti, Jada the Wonder Dog, and yours truly, Larry Peroetti. We're all here as we're ready to embark on yet another program for today. Being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, they are rebuilding the South Greeley Highway address, so look for the Taco John's food truck to take care of all our Southside friends. Remember the Taco John's food truck usually hanging out right there in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot. So again, grab some great eats always from Taco John's as they are premiering and featuring for breakfast, lunch, and dinner their sirloin steak burrito, and it is absolutely delicious. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Services I drove by today over on Highway 30. And again, they are your exclusive home for Jayco RVs and fifth wheels, along with travel trailers. And matter of fact, they even have a deal of the week, which is a Jayco travel trailer. So check out what they have for you today over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. I can tell you this, you're going to find great prices, and you're going to see some fantastic financing packages in play as well at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards. Oh, by the way, for a limited time, Ray and Cindy invite you to try their barbecue bacon sandwich, their smokehouse BBQ bacon sandwich. It looks delicious. And their strawberry passion tea lemonade. Again, don't snooze, you'll lose. It's here for a very short time over at Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne, Windmill and Delrange, where they serve up 3 squares, 2 convenient drive-thrus, and they're open Monday through Saturday. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, the lot filled with 2019 Kias like the Sorento. Take a test drive in the Sorento. These vehicles sell themselves. Let AJ, Greg, and the entire crew do all the paperwork. That's what they're paid to do. Let them do the paperwork and then hand you the keys to your new Sorento over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2 over on Vandehigh and at the corner of College and Pershing. Again, right now, perfect time to refinance a home loan, get a HELOC. How about, matter of fact, you want to get into a new home or an existing home. Interest rates are fantastic right now. Auto loan. Platte Valley Bank can take good care of you today. Medicat Pharmacy, right next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. Again, your home for medications Monday through Saturday. You can shop inside, use the convenient drive-thru. Remember, with your doctor's prescription, Gene and his great staff will fill those prescriptions and explain those medications to you all the time. Medicat Pharmacy on Bluegrass Circle. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. The main auto repair center over on Dunn Avenue. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Open Monday through Friday. Offering right now a 3.1% annual percentage yield on a 27-month CD. Take advantage of that today over at First Tier Bank. And Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best. Again, not corporate, locally owned, locally operated, family-owned, family-operated, and again, family recipes from back east that have been here for 3 decades plus. So check out what Joe has for you over at Mondello's Pizzeria. Open 7 days a week, 1507 Stillwater Avenue in the Greenway Commons. And we get things underway. Their scoreboard is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go first to Nick.
Recapping from last night here at Town Local Baseball with Cheyenne Post 6 in action against the Catalyst Cardinals, where they got the victory 3-2 in that contest. A little alumni win there for Cheyenne Post 6. So for the Post 6 Sixers, they're 31-13 overall. They will be in action coming up this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as they'll travel down to Denver and compete in that tournament down there. Also, to Game 3 of the College World Series Finals between Michigan and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt getting the win last night in Game number 2. So Game 3, winner take all between Michigan and Vanderbilt happening tonight, 5 o'clock, and you can see it on ESPN. That would mean it's your turn.
Oh, I heard a buzz. I thought maybe
That'd probably be my phone, but either way.
Okay. Your phone. Wait a minute. Oh, your phone going off?
That's vibration. So.
All right, let's go to Major League Baseball matinee performances today. Top of the 7th inning, Padres and the Orioles. I failed to mention that this is the return of Manny Machado to Oriole Park at Camden Yards, where they actually still like him there, believe it or not. Padres leading 9-4 as they're in the top of the 7th. End of 4 at Chase Field in Phoenix. Diamondbacks 6, Dodgers 2. End of the 4th inning in San Francisco. They're rocking and rolling. Rockies leading the Giants by the count of 5-3. Finals already the books. Red Sox losing at home at Fenway to the White Sox 8-7. Matter of fact, the White Sox rally after blowing a lead in the 8th inning, so the Pale Hose pick up a win over the Bo Sox. Yankees in the Bronx, 8-7 winners over the Blue Jays. I got to look. Sorry, gang, got to slow things down here. Got to see, did the Yankees hit a home run for today? And the answer is yes, DJ LeMahieu hit a home run, and Gregorius also hit a home run. So the Yankees continue with their mightily home run streak. Also in the majors games, that is also a final. Indians have defeated the Royals at Progressive Field 5-3. 5 o'clock games will have the Mets at the Phillies. It will be the Rangers at the Tigers. Nationals will face off the Marlins at Marlins Park. Athletics again will be at Busch taking on the Cardinals. M's and the Brewers, 6 o'clock hour at Miller Park. Braves, Cubs at Wrigley at 6:05. Right after that, it'll be the Angels hosting the Reds at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. Pirates, Astros at Minute Maid, and then it will be the Twins at 6:10. They will take the field at Target Field, hosting the Tampa Rays. Scoreboard this afternoon brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen.
For electrical, plumbing, paint and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location, and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Otherwise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 83 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly clear for tonight, our low down to 48 degrees, sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 85, mostly clear Thursday night, our low down to 49 degrees.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome once again to Wyoming Sports Talk Today for a Wednesday, as we're already halfway home to the weekend. K-Mac is on the clock right now for us,
which is nothing new for him. We've had this issue before, but at least hopefully left him a voicemail and a text as well. So hopefully he'll give us a call here very shortly to talk UW off season, especially basketball, both men and women. See what at least his thoughts on football as well too. So at least get a little UW update for today. So hopefully he'll call us back.
Well, I'm going to throw the microphone back to you, and you can give us a little bit on last night's activities out at Powers Field as you had a chance to watch the Sixers win in a good ball game, too. I mean, it was one of those games that kind of kept you on the edge of your seat.
It was a back-and-forth, at least, effort between Cheyenne Post 6 and Catalyst Cardinals. Again, it is two teams that know each other very well. It was a little bit of added pressure to Post 6 being at the alumni game, and again, in front of, at least the kids that did attend the kids clinic. So, all emotions and maybe a little added pressure for Cheyenne Post 6, but they got it done. Again, 3-2 victory against Catalyst Cardinals, 31-13 as they embark on at least now getting on the road again, as they've been on the road down, whether it's in Pueblo, last weekend in Omaha, and now upcoming going down to Denver, where they'll play at various, at least RMAC schools, at least, for instance, Regis, I think they'll play at their campus. They'll eventually play at Metro State in downtown Denver. So at least nice little win at home, especially getting that home cooking in front of a lot of fans. A lot of fans did show up to Powers Field, which was good to see. Beside the weather being a little questionable as well, where go figure that it was raining a bit, nothing too heavy, but at least was able to get that game underway. So for Cheyenne Post 6, a quality win, just another close-knit, at least keeping down the runs as well too, at least the pitching staff keeping them quiet, where things have been, I wouldn't say too inconsistent, but we've seen those elevating numbers in a few contests. But against this Catalyst team that looked like could be a very powerful lineup, and they showed some stints of it, but kept them quiet throughout. So kudos to Post 6. So nice little momentum, at least where today they have the break. Probably going to do a little practicing, then hit the road, or at least assuming they probably hit the road as well, and get ready for the Denver weekend that's coming up on Thursday.
Now, tomorrow, we won't have a program. You and me will both be over at Converse, as we'll get a chance to catch up with Adam Galicia.
We might split time as well, because as well with Cheyenne Extreme, they'll have their doubleheader action against the Colorado Rockettes starting at 5 and 6:30. But also two, before you cut me off, coming up at least starting tomorrow as Post 6 in action, starting up Thursday down in Denver. But here in town over at Powers Field, the Cheyenne Mustangs will at least have the start of their at least Mustang Summer Classic tournament that is happening, and will start on Thursday and again goes all the way until Championship Sunday. All games happening at Powers Field. So at least to get that schedule, we're still waiting right now from at least the Cheyenne Mustangs to figure out who they are facing off, what times and dates as well too. So might be splitting a bit of time between those two teams again, as we have local softball and baseball happening tomorrow here in town.
Well, bottom line is we're going to be catching some ball tomorrow, and again, we do want to sit down before they leave for Florida and catch up with Adam Galicia's team and see how the 18 and under extreme team performs against the Colorado Rockettes, if I remember right.
As I just said that probably a minute ago, absolutely. But again, they'll have their lone home contest again for the Cheyenne Extreme. Possibly their final home contest of this year, as it's been a rarity throughout, at least going back their other home contests, being a part of Extreme Weekend, which was just phenomenal, and again, seeing the attendance out there, but just kind of putting that alert out to fans, at least for the Cheyenne Extreme, or who are curious about seeing this team in softball action, could be possibly the final home contest for the Cheyenne Extreme coming up at least tomorrow. Again, doubleheader action, 5 and 6:30 are tentative start times. Weather should be good for both the Extreme and the Cheyenne Mustangs, so at least encourage folks to get on out, go support the Extreme, go support the Cheyenne Mustangs, again, for the Cheyenne Extreme, for those 2 contests tomorrow, again, attendance is free as well at Converse Park.
Right. And again, with the Extreme tomorrow, it's going to be a warm one. So, again, make sure that you stay hydrated in the stands, as the young ladies will stay hydrated on the field as well. We are going to go to the phone here this afternoon as Jada the Wonder Dog lets us know that we have a guest online. It has to be the one and only Kevin McKinney from the University of Wyoming, again, Associate Athletic Director. How you doing there, Kevin?
A+. I'm wondering how the Proettes are doing.
We're summaring it right now. I'm doing the baseball thing, and of course, Nick is, it being Nick. I mean, there's not anything else I could do. I also inherited a dog here, so kind of keeping the old guy a little healthy right now. So I go make sure I get out and walk the dog every night.
You need that protection.
I do. And again, it's she's an older dog. She's graying like me, so we work well together as we walk around the park. People feel people feel sympathetic. They hand us money. I like it. Anyway, it's good to have you on the program. It's summertime.
Yeah, we haven't talked for a while.
Yeah, and the interesting part of summer, you're almost like coaches. Even though the University of Wyoming is not in session right now, bottom line is you still are doing the goodwill tour, so to speak. This is when you get your opportunity to stretch your legs and visit every part of the state and talk the University of Wyoming with folks.
Oh, yeah, and it is a good time of the year to do that. It's also our time of year to plan and get everything ready for the upcoming season. So it's a good time of year for us. It's not a schedule of game after game after game. It's you can kind of do things a little more leisurely, I guess, than during the season. So yeah, we always enjoy it.
Usually, but also, I was say the leisurely part there. I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick. Is usually having a golf club in your hand, right?
Well, not as much as I'd like. We haven't had the weather to have a golf club in our hand, to be honest.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's no surprise. Again, we've been dealing with the rain out here. At least it's been, a wet spring and summer where it's affected local baseball and softball. So, at least it's good for the environment, but at least for sports-wise, it's been a rough kind of at least 2019. But at least, Kevin, talk about at least this off-season or something that I've noticed on social media, and kudos to at least the accounts for the University of Wyoming. But, we're seeing a lot of teams, whether it is at least women's basketball, men's basketball, getting out in the community. Football has been trying to as well. At least saw that they were competing there in Laramie with at least in a softball kind of charity event. But it's good to see that at least teams there at the University of Wyoming are getting about around the state of Wyoming in the communities, whether it's in Cheyenne, Laramie, Casper, throughout, and kind of putting their faces out and getting in front of the fans.
Yeah, and Nick, that's this time of year. You need to do that. Way back when, I had somebody from in the state tell me that it's the University of Laramie, and I'll never forget that. And it is not the University of Laramie; it's the University of Wyoming, and it's hard for a lot of people to get to Laramie and enjoy events. So it's really our responsibility, and we're happy to do it, to get out and see people around the state of Wyoming, and that's part of our job, and we enjoy doing it. This is a state's university, and we understand that totally.
Something that you're very familiar with over at the University of Wyoming is welcoming in a new president as Lori Nichols now departs. And again, you've seen many of them come and go and ascend to that throne at the University of Wyoming. And the question I ask of you, with the new president coming in, are they going to be one that's favorable to athletics?
Well, that's always the question that you have, Larry, and acting president, we should say, Theobald, he's been a president. He was a president at Temple University, and I think, he so far has seemed to be very much so. But as I say, he's an acting one, and whether he remains as president, gets that acting taken off, we'll have to wait and see how the process goes. But you always want that to be and you're hopeful of it. And I think most presidents now understand the importance of athletics and kept in perspective. And so we would hope that whomever the trustees decide upon, they would be favorable to athletics.
I'm glad that Nick, and myself talked about the touring of the state of Wyoming right now with the athletes and the coaches and of course administration. What is the common question? And again, I know you mentioned the University of Laramie, but what is the most common question asked of you, especially when you're out doing the tour? Is it times being changed or dictated by the Mountain West? What is that major question that's always asked of you?
Well, certainly, other than, how are the Cowboys going to do? We hear that one first and foremost. I think people want to know about the television contract and are they going to be able to see games? Of course, we want them to come to the games, but we understand that there's a lot of times they have to watch television. Usually, ticket prices are questions that we get, which we're happy to answer and explain. But primarily, I think it's just how are your teams going to do? How good are we going to be in football? Is basketball going to be able to come back strong? And, those kind of questions. That's about Joe Legursky and his retirement. Did that take us by surprise, for instance? But in general, it's how are you guys going to do?
Well, I think we'll ask that question right now for you, Kevin, of at least as we're getting fastly approaching right now football season for the Wyoming Cowboys, looking at the spring practices, and here we are in the kind of first couple of days here of summertime. Couple injury bugs at least around the Wyoming Cowboys. A few at least players have transferred out as well too from the Wyoming Cowboys. But and again, looking at this schedule, it might be a little bit of a tough one going forward for the Wyoming Cowboys outside of my boys out of Moscow, Idaho. I think they'll take care of the Idaho Vandals. But other than that, though, again, as you look at the upcoming schedule for the Wyoming Cowboys, a lot of tough games on the slate for Craig Bull and his Cowboys coming up this year.
Well, there's no doubt about that. What do you want to do but get off to a great start? And, of course, Missouri is going to be a very, very challenging game, no question about it. But I think this year's schedule might be a little more conducive to getting off to a better start than the Cowboys were able to last year. So it is a challenging schedule, and there's some teams like Tulsa that I would suspect a lot of people would think Wyoming would win that game. That would be a very difficult game, and, of course, the regular Mountain West games. But the Cowboys are here this summer, and they're working out every day, and you like the looks of them. You mentioned the injuries, Nick, and unfortunately, a lot of those injuries have come to the offensive line, a very critical place, and that would be a big key, a big question for Wyoming going into the season is how can that offensive line come together and get past the challenges of those injuries to a couple of veteran guys. But I think there's a lot of good players in this program, and they've demonstrated that over the last few years with Craig Bull here. We have different-looking players than we had. They are bigger, they're stronger guys, and I think you feel really good about it. But as you said, you've got a tough schedule, and it's just imperative that the Cowboys get off to a good start.
And I'll follow up on that with the way Nick brought that out. Is this, and I hate to throw this mantle on you like this, Kevin, but is this a make or break year for Coach Bull?
Oh, I think that he puts a make or break pressure on himself every year, but I would say no. His body of work has demonstrated that he's taken a program that was struggling and made it very competitive. I think he challenges himself every year and maybe looks at things that way. We do not.
Well, and I know last year you heard it, we all heard it, and then there was a change when Sean Chambers came in at the quarterback position. But the Birds came out last year; they were not happy with the Cowboys' offensive scheme. With Chambers being in there, if he does get the number one nod, do we see an entirely different offense this year by the Wyoming Cowboys as opposed to Tyler Vanderwall / Josh Allen quarterbacking?
I would say this, that the base offense that Craig Bohl likes is going to be there, and each quarterback that comes in, you adjust to take advantage of their skill and what they do best. And so there'll be tweaks, but in the main, Craig Bohl likes to run the football. He likes to be physical. I think he's got a quarterback that is gifted, who can throw, who can run, and I think we'll probably see. It'll be important as usual to run the football, but we'll see the Cowboys go to the air. I think the receiver core has been beefed up, and the quarterback will have a lot better weapons to throw to. So I would say, he doesn't make wholesale changes, but he does adjust given the personnel, which any good coach should do. But he wants to be physical, and he wants to run that football. And for the Cowboys to really be effective, they're going to have to do that. But the quarterback position has some talented guys, and whomever it is, I think you've got a real opportunity to be a much more effective offense.
Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director, joining us here in Wyoming Sports Talk today. Nick?
Kevin, I at least going to give you a little summertime quiz, or at least see if you've done a little bit of research this offseason for the Mountain West, especially the Mountain Division as we talk football right now. We know last year, again, Utah State dominant, had their good season, possibly could continue on to 2019. We know Boise State's always a threat in the Mountain, and then you have the kind of questionables, or at least the question marks, I think, of with CSU of what that team will be. Air Force, a team that looks like they're trending upwards. New Mexico, don't know if they'll kind of stay at the bottom of the Mountain Division, but they are also, too, a question mark, along with also, too, the Wyoming Cowboys. Is there a team that might fall down out of Utah, Boise State? Do you foresee that? Or is there also, too, a team that comes from the bottom last season that could sneak up and maybe take over the Mountain Division?
Well, those are always the fun questions to discuss, and I think that obviously Boise State is the standard, and you've got to feel like every year that program will be one of the teams to beat. I think Utah State will be good again. I don't know if the Aggies will be quite as good as they were last year. Could be, but they are established now, and they're very difficult there in Logan to contend with, and I think that they'll still be good. I don't know about the Rams. CSU struggled last year, and they lost some very good players, as we all did. I would say always watch out for the Falcons, with just the way they go about business and the schemes that they run. They're always going to be in there. New Mexico is a question mark. They just haven't been able to get on track to make a big jump. So I don't know how that'll be, but I think that when you look at the Mountain Division, you've got to include Boise State and Utah State. I think those are the two teams, at least at this point, that you would suspect will be the teams to beat.
And we always keep our fingers crossed for the brown and gold, but my sleeper team this year, and they got another birthday underneath them, I think the Falcons are going to be that team to watch out for.
Yeah, and you know what, Larry, most times, very rarely do you say they won't be good. They are a program that is always going to be around, and some years they'll be better than other years. Rarely will they not be very good, but I suspect that they'll be a very difficult opponent to contend with.
Final thought from me here before we let you go, and again, we want to thank you for joining us here. And I know it's a busy summer, and I'm glad that you gave us a few minutes of your time. Real quick here, as we get back into athletics at the University of Wyoming, in addition to football, we've got soccer coming up, we got volleyball, we got cross country, a little bit of this, that, and the other thing going on over the University of Wyoming. Talk about just some of the other programs, what we can look forward to with some high expectations.
Yeah, and we're very excited, Larry, about those sports. I think volleyball could have a banner year. They had a great recruiting class, a lot of really good kids coming back, and so I would suspect they'll be very, very good. Soccer had a heck of a year, and they have a lot of returnees, and they had a good recruiting year as well. We know about cross country. Those guys and gals were outstanding last year. And, as we talk about these sports, you would suspect to be good in cross country because of the elevation here. And they've really taken advantage of that. And I think we have some really quality athletes on the cross country program. So we're really excited about it. Volleyball is very, very popular here, as has been soccer. Of course, soccer, the World Cup going on. People love soccer, and they're always excited about it. We're excited about those kids. So we're very optimistic about all three of those programs, and they've been good in the past, and we suspect they'll be good again.
Hey, Justin James, he catches on with Sacramento. I mean, is he going to be an impact star?
I'll tell you something about Justin. I gained so much respect for him during the senior year when it was a tough year, and it was a tough way for a senior to go out. But he never complained about it. He never made excuses about it. We had him on many post-game shows because he was the senior leader, and he always handled it so well. And I think that probably helped his stock with the Kings. They saw a lot of that, and he's a skilled player. There's no doubt about it. And I'm really anxious to see how he develops at that level when they get him in their program and get him playing like they want him to play. I think he's. They wouldn't have drafted him that high if they didn't think he could play. And so I'm very excited for him. We all are. We all love Justin and how he conducted himself through his time here. And so we'll be rooting for him big time. We're very excited for him.
Keeping on the theme of basketball, my final thought for you, Kevin, at least regarding University of Wyoming men's basketball, how big is it for this university, for that program, for Coach Allen Edwards, especially on the recruiting side, where now you have two Wyoming Cowboys at least representing in the NBA with Justin James at Sacramento. You have at least with Larry Nance Jr. with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, now having two representatives out of the University of Wyoming playing in the NBA, I mean, how big is that for the men's basketball program there, Laramie?
It is. It's very big, Nick, and believe me, the coaching staff is utilizing that in their recruiting. We're really excited about that. Obviously, they have a big year coming up. That was a very difficult thing to experience last year, and so I think that the young men they brought in this year, recruiting wise, we're excited to see them, and I think it can do nothing but help when you get some guys who go on to the next level, because that's what you can talk to recruits about. So that's a big thing. You can't deny that. It's a very large recruiting tool.
All right, Kevin. Well, we thank you so much for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today, and we'll catch up with you again here probably before the Cowboys get to camp.
Anytime, guys. Always good to talk to you.
All right, Kevin McKinney, again, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director. Join us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We went a little long. We'll take a timeout. We're back after these words.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A,
the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Some common things that can affect your personal or at-work computer. The worst of all is a virus. Secondly, it runs too slow because the hard drive is filled or something else internally is wrong, and it's in serious need of an upgrade. Before you get rid of it, let Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair attack and fix those problems right away. Affordable Computer Repair is just that. So call 307-256-8971 and let Lanny's many years of computer service get your computer back up and running the way it should be so you don't miss a day of work or the personal use that you expect from it. He's worked on them all, so you'll feel confident he'll get the job done right. So don't junk it. Help is on the way from Affordable Computer Repair. Call 307-256-8971.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Our thanks again to Kevin McKinney from the University of Wyoming joining us. Next hour, we're going to be talking with Bryan Murphy, who is the managing editor for the McCovey Chronicles. It's a
part of SB Nation again. It is a blogging site about, at least exclusively about the San Francisco Giants. Does a podcast as well too. Part of it, kind of similar to what we talk with, like for instance, again Cody Rourke when we talk with him about the Denver Broncos.
Right,
similar
exactly.
style of that. So at least talk with him with Bryan about little San Francisco Giants trade rumors, especially as this is getting hot right now. Maybe even at least break down this series right now between the Giants and Rockies. So. Looking forward to at least talking with him coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. But going off of at least Kevin McKinney, at least joining us here a few minutes ago on Wyoming Sports Talk Today, breaking down at least more so about Wyoming Cowboy football as we are approaching very quickly. We are about roughly, here we are, almost a month away. August 31st is the first game against here in
first week of August. We're going to be over there for Media Day, and that's when they start camp.
Well, either way, though, how about the first game starts August 31st in, at least over in Laramie, as they host Missouri on that contest. 5:30 is the start time for their CBS Sports Network is going to be showcasing that one if you can't make it out to that game. So, again, TV is available for the Missouri game, but breaking it down again, we've had our thoughts about, at least with the Wyoming Cowboys. My thoughts regarding Craig Bull's situation there in Laramie with the Wyoming Cowboys for the season, but Again, Kevin, obviously, again, he bleeds brown and gold, so he's going to at least, not to talk for him, but again, he's going to have that positive outlook, and I think that's fair enough, at least regarding the University of Wyoming. Again, try to have that positive outlook, but again,
he's not issuing his opinion.
Yeah.
He's basically saying this is the way the coach is hard on him, more hard on himself than you and me would be.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how he's spinning it, and that's an okay thing. But also too, Craig Bowl is not going to sit there and walk away from this nice little package that the University of Wyoming has put together for him either.
Yeah.
If he has another down year, and guess what, folks, in my opinion, the season, and again, we've gone through that schedule and said, I just don't. I don't see.
Well, I
don't see 6 wins for the Cowboys.
And it was good to hear that Kevin at least agreed of saying, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I think the only game you can basically say that Wyoming has a good shot or at least should win is that home game, at least in week 3 against the University of Idaho. Again, as much as I love my beloved Vandals, it's a team that's struggling right now in the FCS in the Big Sky.
High School can beat Idaho, so what the hell?
I don't want to hear that, at least comparison. You're on the par of, Alabama could beat whatever low-tier NFL team. You're stupid.
Alabama probably could. They could probably participate in the new XFL.
Probably, yeah. We'll see about that. But again, outside of the University of Idaho, that home game where again the Idaho Vandals twice have met with the Wyoming Cowboys, has never won a contest against the Cowboys. So I think you feel pretty at ease as much as that game time. Unfortunately, fans, I'm going to go for the Vandals, but. You look at it again, Missouri at Texas State. Again, Texas State, not a slouch. Should be a beatable team, but again, you're on the road down there in San Marcos in front of a pretty loud fan base that does travel down at least in between San Antonio and Austin, Texas. So we'll see about that contest. Again, he mentioned as well, Kevin, on the road at Tulsa, Oklahoma with the University of Tulsa. Again, not a slouch team.
Yeah, you don't throw
it's
any
not,
of these.
It's not an easy one. UNLV at home, possibly should get that win. But again, those, at least with the Running Rebels, those games usually turn out to be an old Mountain West shootout. Where
let me stop you though here. Let's go stop. Where you're talking about Idaho. We said the same thing last year with Wofford.
Yeah.
And 2 years or 3 years ago it was University of North Dakota.
Yeah, but Idaho is not on the same. Idaho is not on the same level as Wofford. Well, Wofford is doing well in the FCS. Idaho is still struggling as much as they dropped down from the FBS, struggled at whether it was in the WAC, whether it was in the Sun Belt or as an independent. This team, this university, at least football program-wise, I've been there. I've seen this team full-fledged of where they've been awful for quite some time. Nothing to show that this team is going to turn it around, and they have not had the success like a Wofford in the FCS, especially in the Big Sky.
This team, we don't know. There's way too the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Way too many question marks as we head to camp. As Kevin said, offensive line is going to be a patchwork.
We know that because the injury is plaguing the offensive line.
New quarterback this year. Again, we saw glimpses last year.
Newish. Again,
but he's not a thrower. He's a runner.
Yeah.
And Craig Bowl will have to, adjust the offense to be more of a running team, which he likes to do, according to Kevin. Okay, but he also
basically you're seeing Air Force football here in Laramie,
and you got a stable of receivers. You need to get the football to those guys.
Yeah,
defense pretty much is going to be
a
new group.
Yeah,
a new group out there.
Yeah, the top tier defense that we held at least high hopes for the past couple of seasons, is pretty much gone bye-bye. And you do have a lot of question marks. Again, this entire team, even with the QB position right now, is a big question mark of what do we expect. And again, in all honesty, of seeing what's happening right now with the University of Wyoming, and again, it still goes back as we criticize, or at least you criticize, the Colorado Rockies with the, assistant coaches, at least coaches on that team, where, again, if you see issues, it kind of relays on them. Similar stuff is happening in the University of Wyoming, where, again, who was the main target last year, what we talked about, Brent Vigen, where he's still part of this and still kind of controlling that offensive scheme, so to speak. We'll see what happens, but right now, this team is probably the biggest question mark, and right behind them is CSU of what are these teams going to be made of coming up, at least in the Mountain West, or at least entirety of football season?
Well, we got to ask ourselves this question right now. Cowboy fans. And the thing that Kevin said, too, when he's out on tour, when they go through the state, the main question is, tell us about our teams. How are we going to do?
Yeah.
Well, if the football team this year, just for argument's sake, and again, I look at this schedule here, I have them down for 4 wins, 4-8. Are we going to give Bull a pass on a 4-8 season?
I would hope not. Again, if I go back to my stats about and something that I've tossed around for about a year now regarding him, again, he's on the same par as what we saw with Dave Christensen. He's on the same par with Joe Glenn. Yeah, again, Joe Glenn, who also got removed from the University of Wyoming. He has same amount of bowl, at least appearances, if not victories, as those other 2 head coaches before him. He has the same winning percentage and just amount as wins. The only difference is he has a few more Mountain West Conference wins, but he has at least no Mountain West championship to speak of, kind of like at least his predecessors. Granted, they didn't really have to have the opportunities at competing in a Mountain West championship like what the Mountain West has recently done with this conference. But that's the only slight difference is he's still sub 500 in the Mountain West Conference, but has a little bit more wins than Christensen or Joe Glenn.
All right, and I'll give you my opinion here, just at first look and knowing what we got, okay? Without looking at the Mountain West. And again, I know some of the top 2 teams, Utah State, Boise State. I look at the schedule, I see 3 Mountain West Conference wins. And I see 2 of them at home. Actually, I see 3 wins at home. Okay? I don't see a win against San Diego State at San Diego. I don't see a win at Boise. No. I don't see a win in Logan.
No, I
don't see a win in Colorado Springs. So there you go.
At least of the road, yeah.
And the Wolfpack, I don't see a win at Laramie.
We'll see. Nevada is definitely a interesting spot. Again, they were bowl bound.
They're improving.
Yeah, they are improving, certainly for the Wolfpack. But again, traveling out to Laramie, it's a different beast. But especially around October 26th, weather's not going to be too bad of an issue. Usually, we don't see the snow until around late Halloween
as soon as we fall back on the.
But either way, though, again. You look at potential wins, or at least in honesty of what they should do for the Wyoming Cowboys. If they are a decent outfit, you should take care of business on the road at Texas State. You should beat the Bobcats in San Marcos. You should win at home against the University of Idaho. Again, a Vandals team that has been terrible for quite some time, that had a drop from FBS to FCS. Okay. You should beat this team.
Then you got to go to Tulsa.
At Tulsa, I don't think so. Home against UNLV, again, I believe that's going to be an old-fashioned Mountain West shootout where I think UNLV probably just sneaks that win.
Like you saw that time at Sam Boyd Stadium there a few years back.
Yeah, where it was, 60 apiece on the scoreboard. Again, overtime, so that was fun. But on the road against San Diego, no, not winning that one. At home against New Mexico, you should beat the Lobos. You should beat the Lobos.
Who knows?
At home against Nevada, no, I don't see it. You kind of talked me out of it, but I think Nevada last year, what we saw, a team that is improving on the football side, got bowl bound. Yeah, I think even with Nevada traveling out to Laramie, I don't see it happening. At Boise, no. At Utah State, no. Home against CSU. This is another big game where it could determine as I'm breaking down wins and losses right now, for the Cowboys, this might be a must-win for them to at least entertain a bowl entry for this season. Again, what CSU is going to trot out on the field, we don't know. They can be good. They can be awful of what we saw last year. Again, it all depends on what Mike Bobo, if he has any magic in his bag down there in CSU, of what he...
Could be the last time we see Mike Bobo.
Possibly. I think right now in the Mountain West, who's on the hot seat? It's got to be Mike Bobo. And it's got to be Craig Bull. As much as, granted, we have talked with AD Tom Bourbon, and he kind of at least tossed that one under the rug, so to speak, or at least said, hey, he's not really there yet. But, I think, in my opinion, he had...
Move on to Air Force.
Why?
Just go ahead. What do you think about Air Force?
And Air Force, no, I don't think you win against Air Force.
So you have them down for 5 wins.
Yeah.
I have them at 4.
Which I think is fair. I think that's fair in reality, and I think that's going to reflect as well, too, in the Mountain West preseason polls, where this team's going to be at least expected to finish, if not probably next to dead last. I think they'll probably scoot ahead right above New Mexico, and that's about it. I think CSU is going to be improved. I think Air Force will be improved. Boise is Boise. Boise is going to stay consistent. They'll probably be your top Mountain Division team, and Utah State might take a step back. but we'll see. Utah State, I think, is going to flirt with the Mountain West, at least with the Mountain Division title, and also to the Mountain West Conference Championship. I think they have a good shot, but I think they may take a step back just slightly.
The three teams that the Cowboys will be looking above at, Boise, Utah State, Air Force, they have to play there.
And I think they'll even look above CSU. I think CSU, I don't write off Mike Bowen. I don't write off the Rams. I think last year they ran into a similar situation of a lot of injuries and question marks on that, at least question marks about that team, because, again, we saw 2 seasons ago where the team was doing fairly well, but you lost all of them to the draft or at least graduation, and they were a young outfit last year down in Fort Collins. I think CSU, a year older, a year wiser, they're going to be a little bit more improved than what they were last season.
I
think so.
I don't have as much faith in the Rams as you do. I think they are. When and again, the media, take it for what it's worth. When they come out, I think the media is going to have the Rams last, and I think above them are going to be the Cowboys, and then it's going to be New Mexico.
I'd say New Mexico is going to be last. Wyoming's right there, and CSU is going to be above Wyoming.
All right, well, either way, Wyoming, to me, is maybe a fourth-place team. Could be fifth in the Mountain Division this year.
I think if you had a breakdown of teams representing the Mountain West and potential bowls for next year, Boise guaranteed, Utah State guaranteed. I would toss in Air Force as a possibility, not a guarantee. I would say a possibility. You look at the west side of things, Fresno, yes. San Diego State should be a yes. And then on the outside looking in, possibly a Nevada team, possibly as well 2 out of the Mountain West, a team that has been developing over a few seasons. And we saw what they did kind of early on, and maybe it continues this season as a outside possibility looking in. I'd say the team out of Hawaii as well, too. Could be an outside looking in. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I think the Rainbow Warriors,
as long as they win every game on the islands, they'll be in for the
which is nothing a hard task for them. Again, for Hawaii, it seems like that is an easy task for them. It's whatever they do off the islands, which last season we saw they took care of business.
So you and me probably being the
I think there's 7 teams right now I would put well above Wyoming that are at least bowl bound.
And I won't even put the Cowboys in the bowl. You agree?
No.
I don't think this team will be
if they do again, in my honest, again, not to be negative about this team, but being more of a realist, it would be very shocking if this team does make it to a bowl this season. I don't foresee it, especially with this schedule and how tough the Mountain West and other teams above them are going to be.
And we got a whole new defense coming into play.
Yeah.
I should say a good majority of the defense is going to be new.
Yeah.
A patchwork offensive line. A running back situation that has got question marks. The only thing that we have, Nick, and Kevin alluded to that, we got a stable of wide receivers, but we don't really have the quarterback in play right now that can get him the football.
You do with Tyler Vanderwall if you can develop and get him right, or at least get an offensive line that can keep him protected instead of having him on the run. Again, I still believe Tyler Vanderwall should be your starter if you had at least a decent offensive line that could stay healthy and show some pass protection. I think Tyler Vanderwall clearly has shown that he has the arm, he has the accuracy, and can get it done. But again, we saw how many times last year he was on the run.
We do need to take a break as you're pointing to the scoreboard over there. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back. Are we getting ready to move into hour number 2? Is that what you're wanting to do? All right, we're going to be ready for hour number 2, and on deck, we'll be talking to Bryan Murphy out of California. We're back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio Buys, heard only right here, features Svedka Vodka, 1.75-liter bottle, $13.99. Pepsi products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $5.49. And Bacardi Rum, light, dark, or limon, 1.75-liter bottle, $17.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 83 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly clear for tonight, our low down to 48 degrees, sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 85, mostly clear Thursday night, our low down to 49 degrees.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Range, right across from Powers Field and from Menards. Bryan City's Place, 2 convenient drive-thrus, open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, serving up 3 delicious squares. Breakfast. If you haven't tried the breakfast, you definitely want to get over there for that. Lunch and dinner, of course, for limited time. There's Smokehouse BBQ Bacon Chicken Sandwich. And they also have for you, too, for a limited time, their Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade. Anytime they break out these type of goodies, they are always huge on the menu. So do check them out today over at Chick-fil-A. Kia of Cheyenne, over on Nation Way. Again, take a test drive in one of the beautiful 2019 Kias on the lot. Remember, bring in your current trade in because they want those trades. And again, whether you have to, push it in, by golly, they'll take that trade. See my good friend AJ and the crew today over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank. 2 banking locations for you. North side over on Vandehigh. East side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always. Next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. Lennox Auto Body, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Family owned, family operated for a quarter century. First Tier Bank. Open Monday through Friday, again offering some great CD rates, especially on a 27-month CD at 3.1 annual percentage yield. See our good friends today over at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Sweet Dean, the Greenway Commons. We're talking about Paisan cuisine at its best. Not a chain, family-owned, family-operated, family recipes from Joe Mondello and the family and the crew over at Mondello's Pizzeria. Again, serving up delicious Paisan cuisine 7 days a week. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Come on by and see the crew over there on Highway 30, where they are your exclusive Jayco fifth wheel travel trailer. You know, again, you're going to find Jayco products aplenty over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And again, over at Jolly Rogers, you're going to find some fantastic pricing, especially some closeout pricing on the 2019 model year, and great financing packages in play as well. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And we want to thank Taco John's. Again, they're rebuilding the South Greeley Highway store. Looking forward to that. So they do have the food truck out now. So again, if you're on the south side, check out the Taco John's food truck, serving up delicious Taco John's cuisine, including their sirloin steak burrito. And again, you can always eat and dine at Taco John's throughout Cheyenne. We get things underway. It's our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go first to Nick. What do you got?
Local baseball from last night with Cheyenne Post 6 in town at Powers Field as they hosted the Catalyst Cardinals, where they got the 3-2 victory in that contest. So Post 6 with that win, they are 31-13 overall. They will have games coming up this weekend starting on Thursday all the way hopefully to Championship Sunday as they'll compete down in Denver in that tournament out there. And also to collegiate baseball underway coming up tonight. Game 3, winner take all between Michigan and Vanderbilt. After Vanderbilt got the win last night in Omaha, that at least Game 3 tonight at 5 o'clock, and you can see it on ESPN.
Let's go to the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Matinees that are going on right now in Baltimore. Orioles being doubled up by the Padres as they move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 10-5. After 6 innings of play in Phoenix at Chase, it's the Diamondbacks pounding the Dodgers right now, 8-2. Rockies still leading the Giants at 6-3 as they have now moved to the bottom of the 7th inning in San Francisco. Finals that are in. White Sox hold on and defeat the Red Sox 8-7 at Fenway. Yankees continuing their home run streak as they beat the Blue Jays today 8-7 in the Bronx. Indians over the Royals 5-3. 5 o'clock games. The Mets will be at the Phillies, Rangers at the Tigers, Nationals will be in Miami to take on the Marlins. Athletics at 5:15 will face off the Cardinals at Busch. 6 o'clock games. Mariners at the Brewers, Braves and Cubs at Wrigley. Angels in SoCal at Angel Stadium in Anaheim hosting the Reds in interleague play. Pirates-Astros also interleague play. That will be at Minute Maid, and the 6:10 game will have the Rays and the Twins at Target Field. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen.
Be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 83 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly clear for tonight, our low down to 48 degrees, sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 85, mostly clear Thursday night, our low down to 49 degrees.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, and we get to bring on our next guest live from California, as we are going to talk to Bryan Murphy, who's the managing editor for the McCovey Chronicles. Get to talk some Giants baseball, something that's dear to my heart for my almost 62 years.
Well, you have the Giants jersey on. I got the Mad Bum, at least when they when the Padres hosted the All-Star game.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we are, well, obviously, I've been a Giants fan a lot longer than
I was going to say, Brian's not walking into bad territory.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're not going to punish him too much here today. Bryan Murphy, a managing editor for the McCovey Chronicles. Let me welcome you onto the show, Larry Proetti, along with Nick Proetti. Bryan, thank you so much for joining us there from the left coast.
Great, thanks for having me.
Now, you should be at the ballpark today. Are you at Oracle or are you at home?
Well, the internet never rests, so we have to manage a staff. We've got it'd be a nice day to go out there. I'll actually be out there next weekend, but there's just too many games.
Yeah, I understand. Well, anyway, last we looked, the Giants were losing to the Rockheads as it's 6-3, last score I looked at. Anyway, tell us a little bit about managing editor for the McCovey Chronicles. Before I looked you up online and Nick explained it to me, I thought, wow, this guy's got a great site here to talk about Willie McCovey. But just tell us a little bit about the site.
Well, Willie McCovey, obviously, Willie Mays was a package deal when the Giants moved from New York to California, and Willie McCovey was sort of the first. He really was the first star that they had for the San Francisco fans. So he sort of embraced differently. The Willies have sort of a different, obviously Willie Mays is one of the greatest players of all time, but Willie McCovey was the first star who felt like the San Francisco fans felt like he belonged to them. So the site's sort of just based on that idea. I'm taking the baton for started the site years ago, Grant Grisby, and he, it's rooted in San Francisco. So that's the background of why the site's called McCovey Chronicles, and really it made its heyday. It really came into being the last time the Giants were bad, which was like 2007 and 8. Really was when it started building up its cachet, sort of in the Giants community.
All right, well, we're having just a little bit of difficulty with the cell phone there, so I guess if we can get you to somehow, some way be stationary, the connection here between Wyoming and California, I don't know. Once in a while, we got to get an extra tower up. Anyway, Bryan, let's talk about the Giants in general. I guess I will start off the questioning of you, and I guess I had a little better expectation of San Francisco coming out of Scottsdale this springtime. I felt a little better with pitching. I knew the hitting was going to be a question mark. I know they didn't do a lot of moves in the offseason, but I got to be realised. I'm really having a hard time with this season thus far, and I'm sure you are as well.
It is. It's frustrating. First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting you okay.
I would say that the pitch. I think everything that's happening is basically surprise in the negative, but the Giants didn't really make a lot of moves because they have a new management team in place, and that new management team is really just trying to bring the organization from the ground up. So what's happening at the level, regrettably, and frustrating a lot.
Well, unfortunately, it sounds like we lost at least Bryan there, so hopefully we'll be able to get him at least.
Let's take a quick timeout.
We'll see if he can call back. Again, connection was not the at least best out there for whatever reason.
I hate that too because you don't know that you've lost the person.
Yeah,
and they're still talking.
Well, cell phones nowadays are going to at least show that it at least hung up. So, but again, at least we did lose the connection there. Unfortunately, again, connection wherever Bryan's located out there in the Bay Area, not the greatest. So. Apologize for that.
Hell, it's salt water. You should have some great connections out there. You know?
I have no idea, but maybe he'll give us a call back, or at least we'll attempt to give him a call back, but at least get that situation all squared away. But again, as we were trying to at least get on the theme of the Giants, again, talk about the trade rumors. As it's getting hot and heavy right now with the San Francisco Giants. Again, potential at least trades within the division, whether it is the Dodgers. Again, not necessarily with the Rockies. Again, I think Rocky fans, you got to realize that the Giants are not dealing at least any personnel to the Rockies. I don't think that's going to be a potential, but teams have kind of arisen so far of interest, whether it is for Madison Bumgarner, Will Smith. For instance, again, the Minnesota Twins right now showing to be the big entity, so we'll see what happens. It looks
Mad
like he's giving us a call back right now.
I was say Mad Bum didn't hurt his stock last night in the win with the Giants over the Rockies. So we're going to go back to the phone here, and we'll see if we got Bryan. Bryan, you back with us? Hello, Bryan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I bet you were still talking, then you finally realized, hey, I lost these guys. Huh? It sucks sometimes.
I think the pitching is disappointing, but it's certainly been better in June. I think we want to talk about Bumgarner and Will Smith, though, right?
Yeah, let's get into that. Now, the one thing I've got a problem. Now, I know that the new GM obviously came from the Dodgers organization, and if the Giants are going to do some trading – and the name Will Smith has been brought up to the Dodgers. I mean, why would the Giants want to trade within the division?
I think that's a great question. I think the idea is simply they want to get the best players possible. And the Dodgers have the best players in baseball for the most part. They're in the top 10 farm system situation, and they can kind of cast off talent the Giants don't have. So on that level, that's why a trade would make sense. But it's the Dodgers. I mean, come on. So I don't know that it's very likely, but I think that they're being open, and the idea that they're not dismissing it is what reporters are jumping on to kind of create a story.
Well, and Dodgers have certainly been an interesting, at least possible trade partner with the San Francisco Giants. But another team that has shown some interest, or at least talks have been back and forth, at least what we've been seeing reports on. And it's not even within the division; it's outside of a completely different league. You look at the AL Central with right now a hot Minnesota Twins team. Is that a possibility that the Giants take up those offers and look at the possibility out there in Minnesota?
Minnesota would be really a great destination for the Giants to trade partner, I should say. It'd be great for the Twins to land both pitchers or either pitcher. They will help. Bumgarner would stabilize their rotation, tell their fan base that they're serious about competing this year. Will Smith is a dominant closer. If you look at the numbers, and I know this is going to sound a little ridiculous, if you compare him to that Aroldis Chapman year that he had in 2016, and the Yankees shipped him over to the Cubs, and the Cubs went on to win the World Series. Smith's numbers are about as good or slightly better than Chapman's. He obviously doesn't throw 100 miles an hour, but he's been just as effective as a closer. So on that level, that's what the Giants have to offer teams, and as a result, the Twins would have to give up quite a bit to get him. So that's why I'm not quite sure that's going to be a fit, but it could.
it could be a heck of a package deal, that's for sure.
Now, as we talk about Will Smith, and again, the other piece that is of interest around the league, and his name has been brought up even before season even started, at least before even spring training, but Madison Bumgarner, again, as diehard Giant fans, and again, out there in the Bay Area, following the San Francisco Giants, I mean, is this something that we have to just kind of suck it up as fans and realize that Madison Bumgarner is no longer going to be a Giant this season?
It certainly feels that way. I think I've been preparing myself since last year, and on the site we've been basically treating it that it's a foregone conclusion. I would say there's like a 1% chance it doesn't happen, simply because I think you'd agree, Bumgarner matters more, means more, is more valuable to the Giants than he is to any other team. And that's not a dig on his performance, but he's obviously he's not Max Scherzer, he's not a top starter in the league, but he's still very good. But, losing Madison Bumgarner would be a greater impact for the Giants than any team that would be claiming him. And so I think that's why there's that 1% chance. But, I mean, yeah, I think most Giants fans ought to be, are already prepared for that to happen. I think they're very open to moving him. Last night he had an amazing start that just reminded you how good he could be. So I think it's going to happen very soon.
Yeah, 11 Ks over 6 innings last night, and the Giants win against the Rockies. By the way, bottom of the 8th at Oracle, it's the Rocks leading 6-3 over San Francisco. Bryan Murphy joined us, managing editor for the McCovey Chronicles. Bryan, let's talk about, we're talking about who's going to be on the outs for the Giants, and again, possible, and this is going to be happening here before July 31. Who are untouchables with San Francisco?
Well, I want to throw it back to you for just a second. What do you mean by untouchable?
Well, let's say, is Buster Posey on a trade block? Is Brandon Crawford? Which Giants may not?
Those are great. That's a great comparison. Untouchable in the sense of the Giants would never trade them. That's definitely Buster Posey. Untouchable in that no one would want to trade for him. That's Brandon Crawford. So I know that sounds harsh, but in terms of what the Giants have, they sort of have a list of players that teams would not want at all. Giants would love to get rid of. They'd love to move Brandon Crawford's contract. They'd love to move Mark Morrison's contract, but that's not going to happen. And even if the Giants were to pay off those salaries, they would not get anything in return for them. So Crawford is a hometown boy. He's not going anywhere. Buster Posey, when they lose Bumgarner, that's the face of the franchise. They wouldn't want to move him. How much would you even get in return for him? It would be unequal. I would say for the traditional sense of what an untouchable is, though, a player they won't trade at all because they value too much, I would say it's in their farm system. I think we're talking about Elliot Ramos and Joey Bart and Marco Luciano. These are young players most Giants fans haven't heard of, but these are the next wave of top prospects, and that's pretty much the only ones I could see. Even Brandon Belt, I think, could go. I think even Reyes Miranda could be had for the right price. So I think the untouchable thing that we typically think of doesn't totally apply outside of Buster Posey.
What about Longoria? Again, I know they're paying him some big bucks, and really his numbers over the last couple of seasons haven't panned out, but could he be on the block, or does anybody even show any interest in him?
Yeah, I just don't think anyone shows much interest in him. It depends. His deal, I think it lasts through 2022, so he actually is under contract longer than Crawford, Belt, and Posey. So, the way the deal's structured, it's not that much money. The Giants are paying like $11 million. You know, the Rays are kicking in next year, and he's getting about $50 million a year.
You know,
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish your thought. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think, you're absolutely right. He hasn't kind of had really a disappointing couple of years with the Giants. I think if he had shown maybe come out of the gate a little hot this year, maybe a team like the Angels or even the Yankees or someone who could use a third baseman in either like a utility role or part-time role, Giants could move him and eat some of that money, and it wouldn't be that difficult. But I just don't see it happening right now.
You know, it bothers me, this team of the decade, the Giants winning 2010, 12, and 14, making the playoffs in 16. And again, just when they were bad, they were bad. But unfortunately, this is Bruce Bochy's last season. And I know Boch doesn't want to go out on a note like this, but I mean, my goodness, I mean, the organization has not surrounded him with any winnable parts, I guess. That would be the way to say it.
Or at least piggyback off of that, is this the organization's kind of move, so to speak, of realizing, hey, Bochy, you're on the way out. Let's just basically cash in and get in the fresh faces for the new head man coming up next season?
I think it's just bad luck. I mean, it's not malicious. I don't think the front office went in there and said, we don't care that it's your last season. You're not going to be around next year, so we're not going to try. I think it's just the way that the payroll was structured and the performance. How about this? The performance they're getting from the people they expected to perform well, it hasn't been there. Posey has been injured a lot. Crawford, Belt, Sandoval's been this weird bright spot for them, and basically they are paying in the league minimum. Longoria hasn't performed, so the pros that the old management team expected to keep performing, even at like a league average kind of level, it hasn't happened. These guys kind of rolled out of bed one day, and they just were not as good as they were the day before, and it's very bizarre. So the new management teams were kind of tied. There's not a lot they could do. They did go after Bryce Harper. They did make a legitimate push to landing him. That would have been some excitement. But who knows? If they had landed him, that might have changed the complexion of the other moves they made in the offseason. I just think it's just one of those things that they always time 2019 to sort of be a transition year, even the old management team, but I don't think they expected it to be so bad, and I don't think there's any way they can have a tailspin.
I'm going to throw a couple of names at you, and these guys were surrounded, or they were in the Bruce Bochy circle, and one was Tim Flannery, who decided to retire, and then of course most recently Dave Righetti being replaced as well. Did that kind of throw a little bit of a question mark into the Giants' operation? Because again, with Bochy being there and Flannery and Righetti, again with some of the other coaches, there was stability. Did that kind of send a message to the team that we got problems?
I think those were. I don't think it was a little bit more like he put so much of his life into baseball and he achieved so much success. I think it just seems like he was really moved on from that specific role. In the case of Righetti, it was all results. I mean, 2017 was a complete disaster for the organization from the top down. Some moves had to be made, and he had been in that situation before. He was with it in that situation in San Diego, and I think he just kind of went with it. What I'm getting at is, to answer your question, I don't think that it told the team that there was something wrong. I think it was just a reaction to there being something wrong with the team. And that can go to other decisions that they've made preceding Bruce Bochy, preceding the last few years, that has kind of led to this weird crossroads, there's nothing really positive, and none of the stuff we're counting on worked out. It's just kind of the byproduct of unprecedented success for the organization.
Bryan, we're going to ask you one more question here, just simply the fact that we're having some difficulties with that cell on the opposite side. After Bochy's gone, who do you think steps in? I mean, in your opinion, who do you think steps in?
I think that's a great question. I think it's just going to be someone young, and I think it's going to be someone who's recently been a player. That's the best I can guess, because that's a great question, and I'd love to be able to talk about it later, and hopefully you could hear me next time.
All right. Hey, Bryan, well, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk Day. Sorry that we had the problem somewhere in between Wyoming and California. We'll blame it on Utah. Anyway, you take care and continue success with the McCovey Chronicles, okay?
Thanks so much.
All right, Bryan Murphy joining us here on 1480 KRAE. Again, I apologize to our listeners. That sometimes happens in the world of cell phones here when we get a chance to talk with our guests, especially from the left coast. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back after these words right here at 1480 KRAE.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today, only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Looking for an IT company with friendly, local customer service and the expertise to handle any job? Then go with a name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. We handle everything from business network management to personal computer problems to same-day phone and tablet repairs. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being, local, polite, and eager to help. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Once again, our apologies on our interview there with Brian Murphy. You just didn't cut it there on that cell phone side. We can tell you right now.
Good insights on at least what we could tell.
I mean,
there was parts of it at least you could understand, but again, at least with the technical difficulties, again, we've had it with other entities, whether out in Vegas, out there in the Bay Area, it's just kind of hit and miss on what connections you do have in those major cities. So, but other than that, though, again, just getting his thoughts on the trades, again, it has been tossed out, and it does sound like it is going to be a harsh reality for Giants fans, but it is going to be a interesting splash in MLB where, Will Smith, as he mentioned, has the great numbers, and we know that. Again, the bullpen, besides Melanson, besides a few other entities there for the Giants, have been pretty decent, pretty good.
Did
Again,
you
Will
hear what he
Smith,
say, though? He said the key words, big contracts.
Yeah.
And after 2014, Belt, Crawford, these guys signed some big dollar contracts.
All right.
And again,
it's not stopped other teams from buying up.
I know, but bringing Melanson over, that's a big contract, and he has not delivered.
Yeah.
So, and Brandon Crawford's hitting 230 something or other. That's not going to get a lot of teams. He's a great defensive shortstop. We'll give him that.
He's an all-star player. I think that he has a lot of good qualities.
Brandon
but he's just
Belt is not a good power hitter from the left side.
No, Brandon Belt, again, probably doesn't start on any other team, or at least is not a starting first baseman. But
your best trade bait right now? And I know He failed when he went free agency in Boston. Your best trade bait, he's making the league minimum, is Pablo Sandoval.
I don't think any other team is going to make a option on Pablo at this point in time. They saw what he did away from San Francisco, and I don't think he's going to be that attractive to pick up anytime soon. But, again, the harsh reality right now for the San Francisco Giants is that Madison Bumgarner has probably donned the black and orange for the last time. And unfortunately, again, at least with last night's win, 11 strikeouts did move him, at least, I do believe, if not. He's up there in the top 10 of at least Giants pitchers in history, at least regarding strikeouts. I think he just passed
Matt Cain.
Yeah, Matt Cain, and I think he's just right behind at least Tim Lincecum, I do believe, or at least he's somewhere in there. But again, he's made history once again. So, but it's just a harsh reality knowing that, as Bryan said, 1% chance that he stays as a Giant, not good, not looking good. That he's going to be on the move. Whether it is Dodgers, whether it is the Minnesota Twins, the Twins have been very aggressive trying to get, at least do a package deal to kind of bolster their pitching staff, whether it is starting or bullpen, as they are trying to focus and fixate their eyes right now. Again, I think they've already wrapped up the AL Central, but to take on a Houston team with their phenomenal pitching and hitting, the staunch lineup that is the New York Yankees as well, too, to try and slow them down, you want help like this from Will Smith, who can be a clutch guy in the end, and a bonus starter for at least Madison Bumgarner, who may just need a change of scenery, possibly.
If Will Smith goes to the Dodgers, boy, that's gonna tick off the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, especially in this division, that the Giants would do that. And again, too,
what are you going to get from the Diamondbacks? Let's be honest. Diamondbacks really don't.
They're pretty depleted.
And I think Bryan at this point at least put up a good point of, the Dodgers have more to offer. They have an attractive farm system. They always have had. We saw, we see it trickle on up every single year of these new talents that put on phenomenal showcases for the Dodgers. And I think that's absolutely right of what the Giants should be looking at is who has the best possible future for this team. Because, again, the Giants aren't winning now. They're not winning in the future, or at least in the recent couple seasons. As they figure out next season who's going to be the head man for the Giants, again, they're not winning then. They're not winning in 2021. They got quite some time to get back and rolling in the NL West. But who's going to offer that possibility to get farm pieces, develop them, and be ready for 2022 or 2023 when this team could be relevant once again? Again, Twins, they're on the same par, or at least I'd put them a little bit below the Dodgers farm system. But again, it is another team that is built up like the Rockies as well too. They've built through the system, and it is paid off in good dividends. Granted, they are and also to a terrible AL Central division, but other than that, though, again, it is paid off very well, and they are a competitive team right now, especially this season.
Well,
they were last year too.
Look at Kansas City back when they were winning.
Yeah,
they were building through the system.
Yeah.
And of course,
it paid off. They got their championship.
And again, they lost all those pieces to free agency because Kansas City, again, a mid-market team, said we're not going to pay this kind of money. Yeah. Where the Giants did. The Giants, they're not a major metro area.
Yeah, they are.
The San Francisco Bay Area, it's in the top 10. Yeah, I guess.
But in the Bay Area encompassing, where again, San Francisco, I think of just metro area. Is if not probably 4th, 5th.
Yeah, but you also have Oakland across the way. But
you also draw in fans from Silicon Valley, San Jose.
I understand that, but my point is though they started when they made the move to AT&T. First it was Pac Bell, then to AT&T, then to Oracle. The point is though when they were selling out, that gave them the monies, and it gave them. Especially with the television contract.
I was going to say the postseason television as well, too, and again, being spotlighted on ESPN, Fox, whatever it may be, again, that pays off, and it did. Again, where you had attendance, you had, again, when those World Series games happened there at AT&T or Oracle, again, you're talking thousands of dollars instead of, maybe 100 of what you get in a regular season game. No, those were pretty pricey tickets that are going back towards the Giants of who was in attendance, again, full attendance there. And also, comes with the winning, merchandising sales, advertising opportunities, again, sponsorship deals there at the ballpark or with your team. It all comes in fun.
But they also, back then, too, threw out silly monies, and silly contracts to keep people. the belts, the Crawfords. They did throw out some stupid money.
I don't think, at least for Crawford, giving him his money or at least getting his contract was not a bad decision. Again, a guy who was very clutch for the Giants, had great moments in the postseason, a guy who is an all-star caliber player. He's just having rough seasons. Again, I don't think that was an issue. Brandon Belt, yeah, possibly a very questionable deal for him. But again, making sure that Madison got his money, making sure that Buster Posey got paid. Again, Buster is your face of the franchise.
Right.
He is your quote-unquote untouchable, as you put it. He is not going anywhere because, again, that would be more devastating to Giants fans of losing this guy who has done so much more for the Giants.
I was watching last night, a lot of empty seats there at Oracle Park for the Giants. Oh, by the way, who did lose today to the Rockies 6-3. All right, let's move on. Well, I shouldn't say move on. I did like the one question that I did ask him that he came back with, who's going to replace Bochy? He thinks it's going to be a former player.
Well, I mean, Bochy's a former player.
I know, but a younger guy. Who would – I mean, right now I can't even for the life of me think of who would be –
Todd Helton.
No.
Would he get back into coaching or at least entertain that? I don't know.
You know who I think? I'm thinking Matt Williams, former third baseman for the Giants.
And he's had his stints. We saw
Washington and Arizona.
Could that be again? It is a familiar home, San Francisco, a familiar team. Fans would certainly know him. He had good seasons, or at least fairly good seasons.
He had
with
really
the
good
Giants.
seasons with the Giants.
So, could that be a possibility? Would the Giants be aggressive like that and do something like that? Possibly. And again, to appease fans, get fans back in seats there at Oracle, to at least revitalize this franchise back into the winning ways that, as Giants fans, we are accustomed to, not just, again, about 3 years ago. Would that be the smartest move or the move that they should make? In my mind, yeah. I think it would be a smart move to go that way.
And Matt Williams right now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, what is either in his late 40s, maybe early 50s at that. Yeah. I think that might be the move. I'm just throwing that out there unless they're going younger.
We've seen it. It's paired, at least fared well for other teams to go that young former player route. You look at with the Yankees again with Aaron Boone. You look at it at least with what happened in St. Louis as well too. It does fare well. We've seen it. It's not a bad experiment. It is not a failing experiment. It shows that, yes, you can win this way. You can have a successful team as well with this young former player who can relate or at least kind of be on the same page as your players as well too, and give them that expertise. So would that be smart for the Giants to go that route? Absolutely. Will they go that route? That is the biggest question. And obviously it is up to that new GM, who I would assume, again, he knows how to win in L.A. with the Dodgers. He knows what it takes to get that team on a consistent basis. We'll see. But also, too, during these times with the Dodgers of winning, they've gone through managers as well. Look what happened with Mattingly. He's out.
Well, Mattingly, Torrey, and then they finally settled in on Dave Roberts.
Yeah. And how long will he be there for?
Well, they got stability right now with Dave Roberts there. So
yeah, but the big question for the Dodgers is, yes, you're winning, but it is something of what we see in other sports and other teams is you're winning, cool, that's great and dandy, but you need the championship. Yeah, you need that championship. That is your end goal. That's what you're playing for, and you still have yet to achieve that as the L.A. Dodgers. So we'll see what happens with the San Francisco Giants again, as they're going to pretty much clean house. The question is, and top of that is, will they clean house and deliver pieces within this division? Or will they go outside of the division? Will they look to the Dodgers? I think right now, to keep it on the local side with the Colorado Rockies, I think Rocky fans have to be at least realists and realize that with this at least opportunity that the Giants are giving to the rest of the major, at least the majors, the Rockies are not going to land a Will Smith. They're not going to land a Madison Bumgarner. That is not going to happen. I don't think the Rockies are anywhere remote on the same page as the Giants of what they can offer, or at least what they're looking for. And would the Giants even want to do that with the Colorado Rockies? I doubt it. It's just hard. It's hard to believe that they're even entertaining the Dodgers, but I get where they're coming from of it is an attractive farm system. Your GM was a former GM of the L.A. Dodgers that knows what pieces he would want.
He probably signed half the kids that are right now performing.
So
in
but I think with San Diego, with Arizona, with the Colorado Rockies, all three of those teams within this division have probably less than 1% chance of receiving any of this talent from the Giants team. I just don't see it.
All right, we do need to take a timeout, and when we come back, we will talk hoops. We're back after these words here on 1480 KRAE. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Right now at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company, stop into the greenhouse for their summer blast sale. All annuals, geraniums, hanging baskets, herbs, patio pots, perennials, veggies, vines, and more are 15% off. Talk about a perfect time to fill up your garden. And all rose bushes are buy one and get 1.5 off of equal or lesser value. Don't miss the Summer Blast Greenhouse Sale, going on now until June 30th at family-owned and operated since 1977 Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week, all season long.
You're looking for fun and adventure? Kia of Cheyenne is the place to start, and the 2019 Kia Sportage is what you need to drive. I'm AJ Miller. The 2019 Kia Sportage will give you what you need to make things happen. This vehicle has plenty of power, traction control, safety features, technology, and comfort for any road you're on. The Kia Sportage offers numerous standard features for the money, and we can help you save money. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 83 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly clear for tonight, our low down to 48 degrees, sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high of 85, mostly clear Thursday night, our low down to 49 degrees.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, we're rounding the clubhouse turn, headed into the home stretch for today's program of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Had our chance to talk with Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director, UW. And again, Bryan Murphy here a few moments ago, Managing Editor for the McCovey Chronicles in San Francisco. talking some Giants. But you know what? We're going to go, I guess, to a certain degree.
Because they stay in the Bay Area.
Well, we can go across the Bay Bridge because technically they're still in Oakland.
Not for long. I mean, they are in the transition period right now to take everything out of Oracle.
The offices have not moved yet, so
they're in the process of moving that stuff. However, again, as Chase Center is about to open up here very shortly, but the Golden State Warriors, at least big news, obviously the free agent, at least market, became a little more interesting today as we all at least anticipated this. This is nothing to worry about as Warrior fans, but it is something to take an eye out and realize that it is now official. That Kevin Durant did exercise his player option to at least become an unrestricted free agent officially today, declining that option from the Warriors. So, again, the fun begins now in this offseason of the NBA as Kevin Durant is now official, and anyone can make that offer if they want to, whether it is the Nets, the Knicks, or the Golden State Warriors, or whoever else might be an attractive landing spot for one Kevin Durant. So we'll see what happens with this as well, too, with at least his option to become a free agent now officially. Breakdown of monies and just the Supermax contracts, at least possibilities. Obviously, with the Warriors, if he wants to stay, or at least if he wants to sign up, where the Warriors have come out and said that they want to offer the Supermax contract, he would make a little bit more money with the Golden State Warriors. I think it comes to about, again, a few $100 million. If not, I think if I think off the top of my head, it was about $220 million.
$210 million, 5-year deal.
Yeah, 5-year deal.
Now, let's stop right there. First off, Durant exercised his option because the option was for $32 million.
Yeah, $31.5 million player option. So he declined that, which is no surprise because if he goes and signs a Supermax contract,
it's 40 plus million.
I think it's about
$44
million at least per year. So again, a little bit pay increases. Again, he deserves it. I think there's no issue if he wants to get his money.
The Achilles injury already scared off two teams, Philadelphia and the Clippers. They said no. And think about this. Again, this is what you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
You sign Kevin Durant. The Warriors are your best bet. 5 years. The Warriors are
5-year, $221 million.
And they're willing to eat that first year.
Yeah, they've already committed. They've already come out and said, yeah, we realize.
Now,
and I would hope so. Again, that front office says what we learned, especially in the Andre Iguodala kind of files, or at least the interview from yesterday, as what we've been talking about. That front office, it feels like, kind of caused this situation with Kevin Durant, or at least they have to realize that they're the reason why he's sitting out for an entire season at this point in time. But Durant, again, does have the option. 5 years, $221 million with the Warriors. Again, it comes out to about $44 million a year. But his other options, if he wants to entertain with the New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, or possibly the LA Clippers, who are other teams that have been on the radar, or at least been talked about, rumored about as possible landing spots for one Kevin Durant. They have the option for 4 years, so technically 3 years. Again, 3-year, well, four in total, but again, 3 minus
4 years.
4 year at $164 million.
I think it's actually 170.
164 is what I got.
Okay, well, the thing is, ask yourself this question as a businessman. Okay, as a businessman. Do you want to sit there and eat $41 million on a player that's rehabbing?
Yeah.
And you don't even know if he can play.
Yeah.
Warriors are willing.
Like I said, 4 years where it's actually going to be 3.
And the Warriors are actually taking that chance on Kevin Durant because they already know what he has done for the franchise. I don't think he really wants to leave.
Yeah.
And again, too, He's exercising his option, so he doesn't want $31.5 million. He wants a pay raise, up to 44, 42, whatever the case.
And the
Warriors are willing to pay it.
And this player option, this decline by Kevin Durant, everyone saw coming. This is no surprise because again, it just means on top of it about $10 more million for him. So again, hey. Get your money, Kevin Durant. Don't blame you. Get paid while you can, and while teams are still willing to pay that kind of money. So this is not a big surprise. It is nothing to allude of saying, no, he's not going to be a Warrior. This is official that he's not joining the Golden State Warriors next season, or at least signing that long-term contract, or at least that Supermax. No, this is not what that is saying at all. It is pretty much just saying Kevin Durant wants to just get paid a little bit more while he can. And that's all it's saying. there is still a good possibility that he goes back to the Warriors, again, in front of a fan base where he's beloved right now. Again, a franchise that is committed to him and shows the respect to him. Teammates that love him to death as well. He's got all the pieces there in front of him, and also, too, the opportunity to play now in a new city, so to speak, in San Francisco, create a new legacy in a new building, a new arena there at the Chase Center. So, a lot of, again, with the Warriors right now, for the Golden State Warriors, a lot of positives are at least tossing out towards Kevin Durant to come back and play for this team once again. But it is the biggest question right now in this offseason of, will he stay in the Bay, or is he going to go somewhere else?
Or is he going to go back east? Because I think most teams are going to pass on him.
Yeah, we'll see again.
Again, you got
Knicks, Nets, and Clippers are still showing interest.
Philadelphia, and again, which is building a young team right now.
Philadelphia is fine, but they do need that extra big piece,
and
or at least
LA
a big
Clippers.
superstar.
LA Clippers, again, passing on a product.
Yeah.
So
out of all the teams, again, obviously Golden State is the most attractive, but right behind them, if I'm a guy, or at least if I'm a superstar player and I want to be a part of a winning team that's almost there, or at least develop it and be a part and create a new dynasty, so to speak, it's the LA Clippers. They are that team where they could be similar to Philadelphia, where they have built up pieces, and if you get that one extra big name like a Kevin Durant, a Kawhi Leonard, whoever it may be, you get that superstar part of that team.
We said the same thing with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, and it never developed.
Kevin Durant's on a whole other level than those two.
I understand. Yeah, well, right now he's not anything. We don't know what he's going to be.
Yeah.
But, here's the deal. Kevin Durant has not come out and said that he doesn't want to be a Warrior. He said absolutely nothing. All he did was exercise his option. So, and right away, two teams said, no, we're not interested, because they don't want to eat $40-some million.
Yeah, which is understandable.
And how many more teams are going to drop out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes? I'm going to tell you quite a few more.
Yeah.
And then you look at Klay Thompson, again, who has already stated he wants to be a Warrior.
And you're going to eat monies on him as well, too.
You're going to eat half a season's worth of money, and he's going to get paid $20-some million.
And again, the team that's going to be willing to do that for both players, which is just hard to believe. But hey, again, they're so committed to these, these products that have developed and being a part of a winning nature in the Bay Area, are the Warriors. The Warriors are a team that is absolutely going to be, dare I say, crazy enough, or at least they're going to be that exploratory of saying, yes, we'll give you big money, Klay Thompson, and eat it for a year. Kevin Durant, absolutely, we want you back, and we'll give you the $40 million for not playing an entire year. They're going to do that.
And not all teams in the NBA, even though they've got the television contract, they're not all prosperous right now. And a lot of teams just can't throw away $20. I mean, think about it, Nick, throwing $40 million away.
I don't think the Nuggets could.
You know what? I don't think the Brooklyn Nets can. I don't think the New York Knicks can.
Both of those franchises have money, though. They have money where I think the Knicks, as a franchise, could be that desperate. They could be that crazy, that desperate to go, as much as you're not playing a year, we could use you for year 2, year 3, year 4.
You got Pat Riley down in Miami. He's not afraid to spend money down there. He could throw that kind of money out. I don't think a lot of people want to waste $40 million.
If you're desperate, you would. Again, if you are the Nets, you're desperate enough to do it. If you are the Knicks, you're desperate enough to do it. I think there are teams, absolutely, that are in that position, besides the Warriors, that are going to realize yes, we'll as much as we don't want to, we'll give you that $40 million because you're not going to play, but we want you year 2, we want you year 3, we want you year 4.
It's unfortunate for me to say this, but both the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson did the Warriors a big favor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, because no one's going to want to waste that kind of money. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And the Warriors.
There are a few teams, though.
And the Warriors are willing to eat $60 million.
Yeah. Well, because they already have a solid core around them that.
That's right.
Could afford to at least.
And again, you're talking an ownership that are billionaires.
Yeah.
So again, they, as much as they don't want to, but if they show